Hello, this is RICKY, the Android guy. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Android Weekly / Android Q&A, where we go over all the latest news that happened during the week and answer all of your questions live. Just realized my main, for some reason, something uninstalled. Okay, well, we'll just wing it. Today we are going to go over all the latest news that happened during the week. Then we will get to all the questions that were emailed to me during the week. So if you have a question, I normally have it down here, but for some reason it's not here right now. You email me at asktheandroidguy@gmail.com and make sure your subject is question, and then I will answer it on next week's episode or try to answer it thereafter. Now, I will say that when it comes to answering questions, I try to get to as many as I can, but the best part is if you watch this show live, then you get the question answered at the end of the episode, no matter what. So for those of you who are watching live, just ask your question in the comment section down below, and we will get to it before the end of the show. All right, guys, let's move on to some of the news. So first and foremost, Samsung looks like they have delayed their smartwatch until the Note 5 launch. Yes, it was rumored for a while to be coming out with Samsung Pay, Samsung's payment system that should be launching sometime this summer, but now it looks like it's been pushed to move with the Note 5. I mean, as long as they're perfecting it, it really is all that matters because, as you can see, this one right now is probably my favorite smartwatch I've yet reviewed, and we just got this little thing in today. So we're playing with this one. Yeah, this thing is tiny. But yeah, so we'll be playing with both smartwatches. And but one thing with Samsung I would say just needs to work on is like having round is one thing, but also making it just look good is another thing. The Urbane from LG does do both, I feel. And yeah, stay tuned for that review because it will be coming up soon. All right, so yeah, that's the big thing is I hope whatever this Gear watch we get is, it's definitely has to be a really prestigious look to it. Now, it's supposed to have a rotating bezel. I don't know if I want that, to be honest, but we'll see how Samsung, again, it's all about the look. HTC has the worst April ever in 6 years, and it is definitely the HTC One M9's fault. Yes, the M9 is considered a failure right now at this point, just because in terms of sales, it is not doing at all what HTC expected. It's not horrible, but the flagship did sell about 4.75 units in the month. Which is a decline from the M8, which sold 8 million. So it sold almost half. Really bad by comparison. Even declined from 2 years ago when the M7 first came out, the first HTC One, and that was 7 million. So just definitely not what we were expecting with the HTC. And really, I feel that HTC was foolish to go against the S6. Because last year and the year before, HTC had the look, the design. But since the S6 took it, there was no too much of a reason against HTC, especially when the camera is plagued with problems. All right, coming up in the next news. Yes, guys, this might finally be a reality, and I might have to sell my S6 just to get this S6. That is right. There will be a Iron Man Galaxy S6 and S6 Edge version. Now, here's very important thing to note. Yes, Samsung spokesperson has said this, that yes, this will be a reality. There will be an S6 Iron Man edition. Actually, he only is the Edge, by the way, but we're speculating S6 as well. Now, these are fan-made renders. This is not what it will look like, but oh my god, if it looks anything like this, this would just be the sexiest thing ever. Here's the thing. We do not know where this will be. So it's no indication that this is coming to the US. There's no indication on any of this. It is just speculation right now that that it is coming out. It's supposed to come out in June, apparently, but we do not know where it's coming out, and that's the biggest thing. Will this just be a Korean thing? I don't know if the Avengers has launched there yet. I know it hasn't launched in China yet, but the movie, mind you. So I'm not sure when it will launch, but it could be something to do with that, like the Korean launch of Avengers movie out there. But yes, guys, this is the big thing that, oh man, if I had a phone like that, it looks so beautiful. All right. In other news, we had a lot of just Samsung news unfortunately this week. Nothing too spectacular. But Samsung Plus has launched this new app that took over this old app called the Samsung Hub, Owner's Hub. Now supports video chatting, so you can video chat with someone live, kind of like Amazon's feature. What was that called? Mayday. So you can actually speak with someone live to help you with any of your phone issues. So a really nice, simple way to get help right away from your phone. And finally, the last news. Yes, guys, supposedly this is the Samsung Galaxy Tab S2. You guys already know my issue with this. This is so stupid that, yes, of course, my big issue with this would be that is this going to really be a 4:3 resolution, which seems like horrible to me. The other big thing is it does look to confirm that there will be a S6 style to it. So it's going to be a unibody design, which most tablets are, of course. But it looks like that there will be not only a SIM card slot, but there will be a micro SD card slot. So that's going to be a difference from the S6. Everything looks like it'll be on the right side of the tablet, and you're going to have your power and volume rocker on one side, which I never particularly like, but it looks like that might be the design. What do you guys think of this? You guys know my big issue with this is one very simple fact, and that is that it looks like it will have a 4:3 display, which is the worst piece of shit out there, especially on Android, mind you. So yeah, that is the weekly news for this week. What do you guys think? Do you guys think any news stuck out for you in particular? Again, with that Tab S, I just can't imagine having a 4:3 as my daily driver tablet, but that's just me. All right. Let's get to the questions that were asked to me during the week. First one comes from Tharon. I think it's Sauron. And they ask, from your video, I had seen a toggle setting application on your home screen. What is the name of that application? So what he's referring to is on all of my phones, actually, I've always had toggles to switch between on everything on my phone. And what that is, looks like this. And those toggles and the clock above it is called HD Widgets. It is by far my top-rated widget in all of existence on Android, and everyone should have it. So yes, that is what that is. All right. Hey, you just bought the S6 Edge, having crash problems. Oh, so there were two actually that I bundled up. So Austin has had issues with his S6 Edge and is having horrible problems with his phone, crashing, lag. Wonder if there's anything better I could do. He's reset his phone 3 times, still nothing has fixed it. Then we have another one, Michael, who he has an S6 and he's trying from an iPhone, and his battery is dying so quick, very quickly, and it doesn't look like he's charging it overnight, which could overcharge the phone. So both of these two, I'm going to give the same advice to. One of the biggest proponents of smartphones is that sometimes you will get a dud. Unfortunately, you will get a dud sometimes. The best part about it, though, is that what you really should do is you have 14 days to return it. So exchange it for a working one. They give you a brand new one in the store, and it works. And that's my big thing. I'm always a big person, maybe because I worked in retail before, but I'm always big on one simple fact, and that is if you're having issues on day one with your phone, then return it. Because I remember when I used to be a manager of Circuit City when it was open, I would basically get customers telling me that, hey, it's 6 months later, right? 6 months down the line, my phone's been bad since day one. I'm like, well, sir, if you would come on day one, then I wouldn't have this issue of not being able to return it. So yeah, I didn't say it like that, but that's what I was thinking in my head. So yeah, I would, if you're having these issues, you could have a bad one. You could completely have a bad one. Do I have those kind of issues with battery life on the S6? No. Do I have those kind of issues where my apps continuously keep crashing and it's lagging on the S6 Edge? No. So yeah, I would just exchange it. If it's within the 1 year warranty, manufacturers will still exchange it for you. Samsung doesn't have too many centers around the world in terms of locally, or sorry, not around the world, around the U.S. Locally, if that's where you guys live. I know in the U.S. I have one in Koreatown in Los Angeles, but they are far and few between. But they always say you can ship it to Texas if need be. That's where Samsung's main headquarters is in the U.S. So yes. And the next news coming from Dominic. Dominic has asked about receiving and answering calls on the Edge. So he's asking about the Note 4 Edge. When you call on the Note 4 Edge and you're playing a game like Clash of Clans, does the call just show up on the Edge, or does it answer like a normal call and take up the whole screen? If it shows on the Edge, can you answer it while still staying in the game? Thanks. So this is actually two different answers for both phones. The Note 4 Edge, you can just answer on the Edge screen. And absolutely, it will just be on the Edge screen, and then you can tap your main screen again and then go on playing. However, of course, the volume will then determine how your quality will go. Because if you have the sound on Clash of Clans, guess what? That's going to still be playing even though you're on a phone call. So you'd want to probably mute your Clash of Clans at that point. In terms of the S6 Edge, no, it will pop up as a bubble on the main screen. The S6 Edge does not have the answer call feature on the left or right side as the Note Edge did. Samsung, in an attempt to try to simplify it, took a lot of features away from the Edge design on the S6 Edge and compared to the Note Edge. So yeah, so those were the differences between the two. All right, guys, those were the questions that were asked during this week. Let's get to the comment section down below, which it looks like we have a good amount of questions. All right, guys, I'm just going to scroll all the way down. Can you can you disable easy mode on the Note 4? Yes, you can disable easy mode on the Note 4. You cannot delete it, but you can disable it if you go into easy mode. If you go under Settings, Application Manager, Applications, and then go under All, and then go under easy mode, and you can disable it. You just won't be able to switch to it. And Root Pro, you would need to root. No. And Root Pro, as far as I know, like I said, that is how you could disable it. I could be wrong on that. Here, let me check for you right now while I'm at it. I will check for you. Oops, not application notifier. Could be wrong. I thought you could I thought easy mode did show up as an app. I guess it depends which Samsung though, because sometimes it showed up as an app and sometimes it didn't. So that definitely will play a factor. You can disable the Edge settings, which is kind of interesting. So no, on my S6 Edge, there is no app called easy mode. I know it was on previous versions of the phone, but it could have gone away with the Lollipop update too, so that's possible. So, how is HTC rear camera compared to the Note 4? That's my answer. Yeah, no, it's the HTC One camera sucks. Now, I've done the first update. I have not done the second update, which gives you RAW format, supposedly. So I still need to do that. That's why I've been waiting on the photo shootout, which we will have. But yeah, it's oh god, the HTC One camera is horrible. It's just horrible. All right. I tried. I'm tired of people asking if any HTC cameras can compare to Samsung. Just please stop. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to compare. Anything but bright. Yeah, pretty much. En route. You're right. Yeah, unless it's under like really bright lights, you're not gonna have a good HTC One shot. But you'll again, we will see that in the photo comparison. HTC has not done too bad in day shots, but oh my god, an indoor and outdoor, I would never use it. I'm taking a general company. The HTC cameras have been bad and will be. Yeah, HTC has not had a good camera since the Evo. I mean, it's really not been a good camera. It's not. Yep. Okay. Well, sorry, you guys. As you post, it kind of scrolls up, so I'm just trying to see where. I see you guys just were talking for a bit. That's cool. Have a good night. Yeah, by the way, we will be getting the G4 in. I was selected as one of the YouTubers that are getting it. They selected like 400 YouTubers to get the G4. So we will be testing that one out, which is, I think, going to be the biggest camera comparison that we're really going to get down to between the G4 and the S6. A lot of sites have had mixed reviews, actually. Overall, I've seen more people go with the S6 for low light photos, which are, of course, the hardest ones to get, but we will see on our channel. We'll try to test it out. I'm really curious to see how those two will compare. Talking about routing, I found out Samsung has a military phone. Yeah, if you want a really cool video, you found out Samsung has a military department. Just search for the video, how big is Samsung really? Samsung makes cars. If you didn't know that, Samsung's been making cars for over 20 years. Samsung has made the tallest buildings in the world, the tallest skyscrapers in the world were made by Samsung. Samsung has a clothing line. What the fuck? I mean, yeah, they're ridiculously huge. So yeah, if you go on that, you'll kind of see everything about it. They basically make everything. Yeah, you said, damn it, you beat me to it, Drag Racing Ninja. Hey Ricky, if you could only choose one phone, would you choose the Galaxy S6 Edge or the Note 4? That's not nice. That's not a nice question. Would I choose, if I could only choose one phone, would I choose the S6 Edge or the Note 4? So I'm going to preface this first. I have had Notes for the past 2 years, and they were rated. The Note series was actually rated the last 2 years my top phone of 2013 and 14. So it was rated the top phone of both those years. Now, I am trying out an S series as my main driver. I traded in my Note Edge. I'm trying out the S series as my main driver and seeing if I can go back to it. It is smaller. I have noticed that. But I will say one thing, and that is that if you had to ask me right now, if I could only have one, which one would I have? I would personally go for the S6 Edge based on the camera. That is why. Although the Note 4 did have stabilization, it was not that much better compared to the S5. And you guys, if you've seen my comparison photo quality between the S5 and the S6, which I did post, or I might not have posted, but if I have it, I will. God, have I not posted that? Sorry, guys, it's been a lot of work to do. And I'm redesigning my room. I'm going to be starting a second channel in a couple months. It's so crazy, all this kind of stuff. But yeah, we're redesigning this whole thing, and yes. Would I get the S6 Edge over the Note 4? At this time, I would get the S6 over the Note 4 because of camera. Now, when people ask me about between those two phones, I simply say, do you want the better battery life or the better camera? Because the Note 4 has the better battery life, the S6 has the better camera. Both of those two things are the most important things to me. The S6 Edge has a 1 hour longer battery life compared to the S6. Therefore, it helps alleviate some of the stress of not having the longer battery that I did have. So that is important to note, that is one of the biggest things about the S6 Edge, why it was good enough for me compared to the Note 4. So yeah, overall, that is the reason why I would currently choose the S6 Edge. However, I will tell you this right here and now. You better believe when the Note 5 comes out, I'm jumping to the Note 5. Plain and simple. I mean, that's just that. Especially if the things my friend that works for Samsung has told me is true, I will be jumping to the Note 5. Yes, I will. Yeah. So yeah. Also, one important thing to know too, with the Note 4, what you would get right now is the issue with Lollipop, which is a horrible fucking OS. I am just fed up with Lollipop. It's just been horrible. Every phone that is updated to it, I've had so many people tell me, like, what the hell? What can I do? And when I've looked at my friends' phones, luckily my fiance doesn't have any issues, or else I would really get yelled at. But you know, when I look at all my friends' phones with the Lollipop update, it really has screwed up their phone, and they have to end up factory resetting it. Then it works fine, because when software update messes up your phone, typically if you factory reset it, then it will properly install the software as a 0 point instead of at whatever point you had it at. So yes, that is my stance on it. Is the Nexus 9 good? No, it's not. No, it's not. A much better tablet to purchase over the Nexus 9 if you want a stock Android experience is the NVIDIA tablet, the NVIDIA Shield tablet. That one is more powerful than the Nexus 9, and it gets updates right after the Nexus 9. Like literally, usually a month to 2 months after, it will get the update. So if Google right now is finally getting 5.1 on the Nexus 9, the NVIDIA Shield tablet will be getting 5.1 in about a month or so. It updates really quickly, and that's one of the biggest advantages of it. So if you do want a stock Android experience, I highly recommend the NVIDIA Shield tablet over the Nexus 9. I believe the NVIDIA Shield tablet actually, I don't know where it landed. I want to say 2 or, yeah, I want to say it landed on 2 or 3 for my top tablet of the year. It was really highly ranked on the top tablet of the year. So I would, it's a really great tablet. For 2014 it was. No problem for that answer. Yeah, so that's some of the things. Yeah, sorry guys, I know this room is still a mess. Luckily, we will be kind of switching it, and I'll be against this wall hopefully by next week. I just ordered a monitor, because right now I'm looking at my, for those of you who just want some behind the scenes stuff, my monitor is actually a TV screen. So right now I'm looking at you guys on a 40-inch TV, and this has been my monitor for probably 3 years now, 4 years now, probably. It's been 4 or 5 actually. So yeah, it's been my monitor for a long time. But one of things that I'm going to need to do is I want to have this background, just a plain background, starting with my new channel when it comes out in most likely June or July. And when that channel comes out, I want to have a plain background. So for that reason, I purchased a new monitor. I ordered it right now, and it's going to be like this, and then I'm going to have that monitor here, and my TV is going to be on my left side. So we'll see how the lighting is with it, but overall, that's going to be the change that you're going to see on Android Weekly soon. What about the Tab S2? Or wait, do you have the Galaxy Tab 4 10.1? I do not, but I did give that particular tablet to my mother. Wait, did I give her the Tab 3 or the Tab 4? I think my mother has the Tab 3 10.1, and my soon-to-be mother-in-law has the Tab 4 10.1 because she got it later on after the Tab 4 came out, I believe. But I believe my mom has the Tab 3 10.1. I personally do not have it anymore, although I did review it as when it came out. What about the Tab S2? Is that coming soon? Yeah. In the leak, the article that I talked about in the beginning. Sorry if I didn't say it. That it is supposedly coming out in June, which we'll see. I think if anything, we'll get the Wi-Fi version coming out in June, but I don't know if we'll get the LTE version at that time. So I'm not sure which one you're looking for. Now, my main complaint, if you also missed it, about this tablet is that it's going to be a 4:3 ratio. This review is coming. Unfortunately, my editor is really busy this week with other stuff, so we won't be having too many uploads this week, but the following week we should. And that is that the tablet of the Tab A and the Tab and the new tablet that's going to be coming out is a 4:3 ratio, which is not made for Android. So it looks really wonky. Basically, everything looks stretched. Like even if you go to the Play Store, which it won't load properly, because I have it off Wi-Fi to try to make the signal go good. But everything, let me load it, looks stretched. So even the Play Store itself will look stretched. And that's simply because Android is not made for a 4:3 ratio. So everything looks weird on this tablet, and that's one of my biggest issues with it. That's one of my biggest issues with it is this tablet at a 4:3 ratio isn't good. And the Tab S2 is supposedly going to have a 4:3 ratio. Me, in good conscience, I can never recommend a 4:3 ratio. And if you're wondering, Kenneth, just take a look at my video, the Nexus 9, the biggest disappointment of 2014. It was something like that, but it's a video that I filmed in, I want to say December, November, when the Nexus 9 came out. And this issue of a 4:3 ratio is one of the main reasons I hated the Nexus 9, because it had a processor that nothing used at the time. Everything was crashing. Everything wasn't compatible with it. Not to mention that apps to this day are still not compatible with 4:3 ratio, and they're never going to be because Android is not made for a 4:3 ratio. So if I'm a developer, why would I have to modify my app for this one product when everything else is at a 16:9 ratio? It doesn't really make sense. I don't like the Tab 3 7.0. Tab 3 7.0s are garbage. In terms of 7.0 tablets in general, the tablets that I would recommend from Samsung starting at always is the 8-inch. The 8-inch has double the storage, so instead of 8 gigs, you get 16 gigs. It typically has a bump in resolution at times, depending on the tablet. And the 7 inches can never connect to a TV in any way, shape, or form. They don't have screen mirroring, and they don't have MHL support, whereas the Tab 8-inch does. So the Tab 3 8-inch and the Tab 4 8-inch both have those two features, whereas the Tab 7-inch doesn't. Kronos, yes, there will be a new channel. So I don't want to go too far into it, but as you guys know, Android is one of my biggest passions, or not Android really, but just mobile in general. I love playing with all these new stuff. I mean, even this thing, it's an overpriced piece of crap in my opinion, but I love playing with it so I can know all about it. So in that aspect, that is one of my biggest passions. There's another big passion though that I really am into and I always have been into, and the second channel will revolve around that. I will say, yeah, I'll say the main topic for you guys. Since you guys are the ones that always tune in and watch, the second channel that we'll be launching will be revolving around movies. So there will be a movie channel coming from me, and that will be launching, like I said, in about June or July after some stuff. All right, should I get the S6 or S6 Edge? So take a look at my video on the differences between the S6 and the S6 Edge. There is a video where I outline the 4 main differences about it. But overall, the 2 biggest differences to most people is going to be that the S6 Edge, of course, has a different look and design. So if you like that look and design, that would be one reason to get it. And the second reason is that the S6 Edge has an hour longer battery life compared to the S6. So yeah, so that's the thing about how the S6 Edge is superior to the S6. Whether that's worth it for you, that's up to you. For me, I do love the design, so that's one of the reasons I got it, and I wanted the 1 hour longer battery life. So that's the reason I got the S6 Edge, and I'm happy with it. I don't regret it whatsoever. Any sounds of any more Note tabs coming out? I would like to get one in a 7-inch or 10-inch. Well, I have some good and bad news for you. May 23rd, Samsung is going to launch a Tab A 10-inch or 9.7-inch, because this is a stupid 4:3 ratio, tablet for, I don't know if they announced the price point yet. 3 something 3. But yeah, they're going to announce a Tab A Plus, which is it's a Plus or S Pen. I forget what the Tab A, the new one's going to be called. But this Tab A is going to be called, I think it's called Tab A Plus S Pen. And basically it's going to have an S Pen inside of it, but it's a Tab A with an S Pen. What does that mean? I haven't got clarity from Samsung. I'm really curious, but I have not gotten clarity from Samsung on that. So there will be that coming out. I think it's the 23rd or 25th. It was something like that. It was announced when these were announced on May 1st. These these weren't announced. That's when they came out. Whenever they were announced, it was the end of April. They were announced. Samsung said there would be a new one coming out with Tab S, not a Tab S, with an S Pen. And if that's going to be, I mean, it's still going to be like, whatever. It's not going to be anything great because it's a Tab A series. So yeah, the Tab A series, the main reason to buy is Office, but that'll be in the review. All right, should I buy a phone now or wait for the Moto X or the next Nexus? Well, that depends on you, really. I have never been that big of a fan of the Moto X, especially when I looked at a battery comparison on all the phones. And the Moto X not only doesn't have that great of a battery life, it takes almost 3 hours to charge. From 0 to 100%, it takes almost 3 hours to charge the Moto X. That's insane. The next Nexus, will there be a next Nexus? That's more the question. Will there be a next Nexus? Because right now, I don't think so. If I had to bet, there will not be another Nexus phone, or this will be the last Nexus phone, to be honest. I just don't think that it was as profitable for Google, and the Nexus has lost some money. So I don't think they're going to keep doing it if they don't see a profit in it. But one thing I will say, I guarantee you there will be a new Nexus 7 tablet. I guarantee you there will be a new Nexus 7 tablet, because the Nexus 9 bombed, and the Nexus 7 will pick it back up. That will make people start buying again, because look, the Nexus 7, my girl still has it. We're going to upgrade it to the Asus that I reviewed last, the end of 2014 or beginning of 2015 when I started reviewing that Asus. But then that Asus, the 7-inch, that was really great for, I think it was $250 or something like that. But that tablet was great for all intents and purposes. And it was basically the spiritual upgrade to the Nexus 7. But I think Google will have an official one. Any news on the Note 5? No, at least nothing I can say. In terms of public news, no, there's no news on the Nexus 5. And news that things that I have friends that work for Samsung, but I don't want to get them fired or anything like that. So yes, but I like what I'm hearing. Now, the question that I think is most going to be interesting, though, is look, I expect this upcoming week for Samsung to announce how many S6s they sold the first month, because today is the 10th, which means the S6 has been out for 1 month. Samsung always traditionally announces how many they sold in a month. So I'm really curious to see how many sold this month. Now, the big question about that is if they sold a lot, will we see a Note with an SD card slot or a removable battery? I honestly don't see the big deal with the removable battery. I really don't. I just don't care that much about the removable battery. Do I care, however, about the SD card? Yeah, but I've gotten over it, to be honest. But I think most people haven't. So I can see that them adding that back. But yeah, that's the things. Do you want to do the next features like? Again, nothing I can say about features about the Note 5 that things I've heard are good. Let me say that. Things I've heard are good. Can you say Ice Bank Mice? Ice Bank Myself. Ah, I see. Ha 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 ha. That's very hilarious, Mr. Harris. That's very hilarious. That is very hilarious. Lol, 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 lol. That's right. I don't laugh. I say lol, lol, lol instead. All right, guys. Anything else? Anything else before I call this wrap? Yeah. Some cool features from what I've heard, but from what I'll see, I'm not sure. The new Samsung smartwatch, I don't see any news on what the rumors say it will look like and what it will have. Do you have any idea? Yeah, the main rumors on the new Samsung smartwatch is it's called Orbeus, which makes us think it's going to be a circular design like the LG, like the Motorola, and all these other circular smartwatches. So that is the main things that we've heard. Will that happen? We'll see. I'm very curious to see if that will come to fruition or not. But those are the things we've heard. So yeah, we'll see exactly how that turns out. My main thing is if it's going to have. So this is the second LG circular watch, right? Full circle, and it has a nice metal frame around it. However, before this was the LG Watch R, which had like the numbers on it, and it had like a dial thing. Supposedly that the LG is going to have like a dial thing for it. So, or sorry, not the LG. The Samsung is going to have some control with the dial. I think that's silly, to be honest, but that's not me. Why don't smartphone developer don't put SD? Wait, what? Why don't smartphone developers don't put in SD card ports? Oh, I think you mean smartphone manufacturers. Like, what? Why don't they put SD card ports? It's very simple. The S5, from what I've heard, basically 50% of the returns were due to memory card issues. That's why Samsung got rid of it. And I'm a big proponent of this. If you have a slow speed memory card right now in your phone, so I ran into this issue myself. And do I have an SD card I can show you guys is the question. Problem with cleaning is you forget where everything is. So this little memory card right here is a high-speed memory card. Can you focus that close? Yeah, that's a high-speed memory card. That is a class 10 memory card, but it's also high speed because it goes 45 megabits per second. So with that, the problem that came up is that people were putting their old memory cards that weren't high speed or that were too slow high speed into their smartphones on the S5. What this causes one of four issues. One, it caused a lot of lag and it caused apps crashing. Two, it caused lag. Three, okay, that was apps crashing, lag. Second thing it was overheating. It caused a lot of overheating on the S5. And the last feature, which I've personally had 6 people show me this, and I've had a lot more of you guys email me about this. What happened was that they actually lost their photos. So they either had a black square where their photos used to be, or they had a person shaped with a lightning bolt across. And yeah, that was it. So that is the reason why they got rid of the SD card, is because it was causing too many issues. So what Samsung tried to do instead of that was they doubled the storage to 32 gigs, and they also did the 100 gigs from OneDrive. So yeah, that's why they did it. It's just as simple as that. That's why they did it. Is it cheaper to develop without a port? Yeah, it is a little bit cheaper, but that's not really worth that much. I mean, you're talking about maybe a cent to 3 cents per phone that you're saving by not putting an SD card slot on there. So by not doing that, I mean, you're really not saving that much money. Maybe like $1 million, which, I mean, out of $1 billion, they don't care. I have a Moto 360, or sorry, I hope it's thinner because the current Samsung smartwatch is too thick in my opinion. I have a Moto 360, feels like Samsung did better than Google with Android Wear. Really looking forward to the next Gear, hoping for a large screen size. I mean, to be honest, I think this is a big ass screen. This is a Gear S. I think this is a pretty big ass screen. It's a 2-inch screen compared to the 1.3 on the Apple Watch, compared to the 1.5, I believe, on this one. But yeah, so in terms of the smartwatch screen size, I think this is pretty damn big, but it needs to look more attractive. And it needs to have changeable bands that look and style. This was supposed to have a thing with Diesel and Swarovski, which I've never seen come to fruition. So, don't know. Danny, did I get my hands on Apple Watch? Yes, I did. We will have some reviews on the Apple Watch and comparing. We will compare the Apple Watch to the LG, what the hell is this called? Urbane, and also compare it to the Gear S, possibly to the Gear 2 as well. Stay tuned for that. By the way, what kind of watch were you wearing on your left wrist? My left wrist is the LG Urbane. This one is the Apple Watch. I literally just wore it because I thought you guys would like, oh shit, it's going to be like the Apple Watch, and we're going to compare it and see how good it is. Yeah, this is a tiny fucking screen. A tiny screen. So yeah, that's my thing. It's a tiny screen. It's a tiny, tiny screen. I'm going to have to take it off. I don't really care for this band, to be honest, either. This magnetic thingy band. I'm not really that big of a fan of it. I mean, yes, it's magnetic, but it kind of, like, it's irritating. I don't know. But yes. I mean, the software. Yes, I will say that. The software on the Gear S, look, this is the best looking smartwatch, in my opinion, to date, the LG Urbane. However, the software on the Gear S beats the hell out of it. I can't pick up calls on this thing yet. I still cannot pick up calls on this thing yet. It has Wi-Fi, but I don't have 4G on it like I do with this one. The thing I like about this one, I can literally go to the gym, have about 100 songs on here, and everything that's sent to my phone will forward to my watch. My notifications, my calls, my text messages, everything forwards to here. I can't do that with any other smartwatch. So every other smartwatch is a bit limiting to me for that reason, since I have had this. Now, does Samsung need more apps? Yes. They have about 1,500, I believe. Android Wear is about that, but this one has about 3,000, so needs more apps. One of the big ones that, I've used a third-party app for a long time is a Starbucks app. Why doesn't the Starbucks app connect to it? They already have one on here, but something as simple as that, they need more development for it, for sure. Earlier, you said you might turn in your S6 Edge for an Iron Man version, in saying that you have seen the Age of Ultron. Yes, I would easily sell my S6 if the Iron Man version of the S6 Edge came out and it was $1,000, meaning that it was only $100 more to $200 more than the regular S6 Edge. I would have no problem selling my S6 Edge. Just none. I would completely sell, especially because it's a limited edition. I'm a very big Marvel person. I have a Hulkbuster back there for those who didn't see that, and an Ultron, and a Captain America box. So yes, I am a huge Marvel fan. So yes, I would gladly change that for that purpose. Actually, if you measure the distance from lug to lug on the Urbane, you'll find the total watch size is as big as yesterday's. Isn't as big. Isn't that? Oh, I see what you're saying. So if you measure from that, it's as big as the S6 Edge. But that's from lug to lug. But screens are measured diagonally. So is it measured now you want me to measure this? I mean, you're gonna have me measure this live? Is that what you're gonna do? So no, it's 1.5. Are you saying the bezel to the bezel? Because the screen itself is 1.5. I just measured it right now. The screen itself is 1.5. However, I'm going to look at this, and yes, if you measure the bezel, which doesn't count, it's 2. Let me watch. Let me see this. If you measure the bezel to bezel on the Gear S, then you're going 2.5. So there. You don't count the bezel. You can't count the bezel. What the hell? Since you're going to do a movie channel, what do you think about the office? I'm not going to talk about movie news yet, Kronos. Yes, that will be something that will be talked about on the second YouTube channel that will be coming out. But yeah, let's not. I don't want to merge the channels. I will keep those separate. I just want to keep this techie, and that one will be movie. I am a huge movie fan, though, so yes, everything. I know everything about that film. I know everything about all this kind of stuff. So yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun to talk about all those kind of movies out there. All right, guys, we will call that a night. Whoa, we went a little bit later than normal, but you guys had a lot of feedback, and I appreciate that. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please make sure before you close this that you give that like, thumbs up down below. Thank you guys always for watching. This will be RICKY, the Android Guy.